The bus schedule said the last trip ended at 11:45 p.m. I checked it twice before I got on, but when the doors closed behind me, the digital clock above the driver read 12:37 a.m. There were 9 of us on the bus, all strangers, sitting far enough apart to pretend we were alone, but close enough to hear each other breathe. No one was talking, not because we were tired, but because something about the bus made noise feel dangerous. The engine hummed softly, like it was alive. The lights flickered every few seconds, never fully turning off. Outside the windows, the city slowly disappeared, replaced by fog so thick it swallowed the streetlights whole. The driver never looked back, not once. At the 3rd stop, the bus slowed down, even though no one pressed the button. The brakes hissed, like a warning. An old woman near the front stood up. She didn't walk toward the door. She just stood there, gripping the pole with both hands, staring straight ahead. Her lips moved slightly, like she was counting. The doors opened. Cold air rushed inside, sharp and wrong, like it didn't belong to this world. No one got on. No one got off. The doors closed again. The old woman was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just an empty seat, still warm from her body. A man across from me leaned forward and whispered, barely moving his mouth, "That's not the first one." I asked him what he meant. He shook his head slowly. "They don't leave, they get taken." At the next stop, a teenage boy stood up. He asked the driver if we were lost. The bus didn't slow down this time. The boy turned back toward us, confused, and asked what time it was. He never finished the sentence. One moment he was standing there. The next, the words cut off like someone pulled the sound out of him. His phone slipped from the floor and hit the ground. Music kept playing to an empty space. The bus kept moving. After that, people started watching each other closely, counting silently, measuring how long someone stayed still. A couple holding hands slowly separated their fingers, like touching each other might make it worse. At the next stop, the couple vanished together. No warning, no movement, just gone. The lights stopped flickering. That's when panic really set in. Only 4 of us were left now. Me, the whispering man, a woman near the front, and someone sitting directly behind me who hadn't moved the entire ride. I could feel their presence every time the bus turned, but whenever I tried to look at them in the reflection, my eyes slid away. The driver finally spoke. "Last stop." His voice sounded calm, relieved. I stood up and shouted, "There is no last stop." He smiled, just slightly, in the mirror. The bus slowed down, the doors opened, and every empty seat filled at once. People sitting where people had disappeared, silent, smiling, staring straight ahead. I realized then we were never passengers. We were replacements. I found the voice note at 3:41 a.m. It was saved on my phone. I didn't record it. The file was only 10 seconds long. When I pressed play, I heard myself whispering, "If you're listening to this, Don't turn around. My voice sounded wrong, slower, strained, like I was trying not to be heard. I checked the details. Recorded tomorrow. At first, I thought it was a glitch, but every night after that, a new voice note appeared, always recorded a few hours in the future. Always my voice, always warning me about something I hadn't done yet. One said, "Lock the door at 2:12. Another whispered, "It's learning your routine." I stopped sleeping. On the fourth night, I heard breathing in my room, not near me, but close to my phone. When I checked the latest voice note, it was already playing. I hadn't touched the screen. My future voice was crying now. "It knows you can hear me." The final message appeared this morning. No sound, just one line of text beneath it. Recorded now. And from behind me, my phone started to vibrate. The graveyard gate was open when I arrived. It didn't creak. It didn't move. It was already waiting. The air beyond it felt wrong, thick, sour, like breath held too long. I hesitated, hand hovering over the cold iron bars, and that's when I realized something terrifying. There were footprints in the dirt, leading in, none leading out. I stepped inside anyway. The gate closed behind me without a sound. No wind, no insects, no distant city noise. Even the moon looked sick, too white, too close, like an eye refusing to blink. My footsteps didn't echo. They were swallowed, absorbed by the ground, as if the earth didn't want proof I had ever been there. That's when the whispering started. Not voices, breathing, slow, patient, everywhere. I passed the first row of headstones and felt my stomach twist. The names weren't ancient, the stone wasn't weathered. These weren't memories, they were reservations. Dates carved into the stone stretched into the future. Tomorrow, next month, next year. One headstone still had a blank space where the date should be, the stone beneath it damp, waiting. Then I saw faces etched into the stone instead of names. Some were screaming, some were smiling, none had eyes. I turned to run. My foot sank into soft soil, a fresh grave. The dirt was warm, breathing. My name was carved on the headstone, deep, violent grooves, as if whoever carved it hadn't wanted me to be forgotten. My birth date was there, so was my death date. It was today. The ground beneath the grave collapsed. Hands burst through the soil, dozens of them, grabbing my legs, my shoes, my ankles. Skin peeled back, nails missing, fingers gnawed to bone. They held me down while something pushed upward. My face rose from the grave, not dead, not alive. Its eyes opened last. "You always walk past us," it said in my voice. "Did you think we wouldn't notice?" Around me, the cemetery awakened. Coffins split open like ribs being forced apart. Bodies unfolded themselves, joints snapping into place, necks straightening, mouths opening too wide. Some dragged their coffins with them, others left pieces behind. They didn't rush. They knew I wasn't going anywhere.
A bell rang beneath the ground, slow and deliberate. Once, twice, 3 times. The thing wearing my face grabbed my wrist. Its grip was warm, firm, loving. "You keep the parts people forget," it whispered. "The fear, the guilt, the moment you realize you're not special." The earth pulled me down. Soil filled my mouth, my ears, my lungs. I screamed until the dirt learned the shape of my throat. Above me, the gate opened again. Someone else was walking in. Morning came. The caretaker found a new grave near the entrance. The soil was disturbed, as if something underneath had tried to escape and failed. The headstone was still wet, and from beneath the earth, something was breathing.
I moved into house 27 because it was cheap. No neighbors, no questions, just silence. The first night, I woke up at 2:17 a.m. The hallway light was on. I don't remember turning it on. I stood in my doorway staring at the long, narrow hall. The bulb flickered twice, then stayed still. The air felt heavy, like something was standing there, breathing slowly in the dark. The next morning, I found fingerprints on my bedroom door, on the inside. That night, I locked myself in and whispered to the empty room, "I'm not the next one." Something whispered back from the hallway. At 2:17 a.m., the light turned on again. I didn't open the door this time. I didn't need to. I could feel it counting.